It's time to talk about Phil Jackson. My God, y'all know who's the GOAT. The Tom Brady of coaching in the NBA. Yes, my man Phil Jackson, who says he doesn't watch NBA games anymore and doesn't like basketball's evolution. I said, say what? Wow, had to read through this one, and this one caught me off guard. Phil Jackson is fully retired, y'all. He bringing it 100. He said that he no longer watches the game due to the political nature of modern NBA broadcasts, starting with the 2020 Orlando bubble. Now, I read that. I was like, damn, you can't just watch on mute? Like, don't most of us watch it on mute? Whether you're at home, you're like, no, I'd rather hear music than hear them talk about it. I can see it. Or you're just at a sports bar and you can't hear it anyway. So it's like it's on mute if it ain't on mute, right? I was like, damn, Phil, it's like that. But he said the bubble. And to me, that was like one of those trigger words. When he said bubble, I was like, oh, we might be going there. I think we are going there. Let's go. He says, quote, I am not enjoying the game. That's too bad. There's a whole generation that doesn't like the game. No, I don't. I watched the game evolve, and then they went into the lockout year and did something that was kind of wanky. They did a bubble down in Orlando. All the teams that could qualify went down there and stayed down there. No audience, and they have things on their back like justice. And a funny thing happened, like justice went to the basket and equal opportunity knocked him down. Oh, Phil's getting there. Some of my grandkids thought it was pretty funny to play up those names. I couldn't watch that. The Lakers won that year. They even had slogans on the floor and the baseline. It was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience to the game, and they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political. Politics stays out of the game. It doesn't need to be there. I said, Phil wants the battle. He wants the war. Okay, let's talk about this because I am torn. I hear where Phil's coming from, but I also know where these players are coming from. So instead of torn, let me just explain both sides. Out of theory and concept, Phil is absolutely correct. Politics should be out of sports. Let me tell you why. Because my politics are not your politics, and no two people's politics are the same. That's why they say don't bring it up. Because when my cause is being on the platform, my cause is being amplified, I feel good. But what if you're against my cause? And certainly there's going to be an issue or more sooner or later that you're going to be against. And now you're now watching me get amplified. What does that do to you? Deflates you, right? Discourages you, right? Makes you just get a distaste for what you're watching. Because you're like, now you're forcing it down my throat, something I don't want. Think about it, forcing it down your throat. If it wasn't something you didn't like, they wouldn't have to force it, right? So you're already resisting it. And instead of watching the pure product, what you're there for, your team versus some other team, or just two teams going at it, they've introduced another opponent. They introduced something that you don't like. And that has turned people off to the tune of the NBA ratings, not in attendance, but in ratings has declined. Okay, great point. I don't want it to go around where it's my turn to have to go through something I don't desire, your politics, and vice versa. So Phil Jackson is right in that space. He's also right because sports was intended to escape all of the politics. You don't believe me? That's why I got into sports in part. When I was 8 years old with no brothers, living in an all-black neighborhood, then all of a sudden I go down to the park, and now I have 30, 40, 50 brothers. We all put our hands in the huddle, and the colors look different than mine. And I'm like, damn, that's what happens, right? And we were supposed to be basing that on how good you are in football, how committed you are in football. Not where do you live? Where are you from? What's your last name? Who are you? Like the politics, socioeconomic, the politics, social status and all that. The politics were supposed to be on the sidelines. Over here, crossing the white lines, everything's supposed to be about your merit. Who are you and what can you do, right? So I give Phil Jackson that. But then I started looking at it from the player's perspective. They're ones that are active now that are using their platforms to the fullest. And that's real. Think about the amplification of any program you have. Like you could be the man of the year, but whatever your cause is off the field, why not bring that cause on the field just because more eyeballs are tuned into you, more ears are open to you, and you speaking on it, you actually displaying it is going to give more fuel to your message, give you more opportunities for your message, right? So that makes sense as well. The problem is, and it's just simple, I don't like what you like and you don't like what I like, not in fullness. All of us, I've not met a person yet who doesn't like tacos. Like in some version of it, right? Like, all right, give me a shell. Cool. All right, I don't want the shell. I'm trying to stay carb free. All right, whatever. Yeah, you got you a shellless taco, right? And it's basically a tostada damn near almost. But the point is, everybody seems to like them, but not everyone likes them the same, right? I know some people that I just want meat, shell, cilantro. I'm like, what? Where the food at? Like, where the rest of the taco? And me, I like it fully loaded with ketchup. But imagine, now it's time for me to give you a taco and it's got ketchup on it. Gonna have to force it down for you, right? That's where we are right now. Phil Jackson broke it down. And I wonder where you guys are, because most people seem like they want these messages out there because they know how they affect, how they impact the masses, right? It's for those who need the services, those who need the help, those who need the assistance. So that's worth it, right? The end justifies the means. So yeah, some people are gonna be perturbed, gotta watch something they don't care about, gotta see stuff on the back of the jersey, like whatever. And you gotta go through that, endure that, because it's for a greater mission, greater cause. But at the same time, do you really have to? You're paying your hard-earned money, you're paying your hard-earned time. Your time could be spent somewhere else, right? You earned that time. You earned that breath. You like, I earned this break for 3 hours. I worked all damn day. I earned 3 hours to just watch sports. Damn it, I don't want to hear messages that I don't fully agree with or support. Both sides. I'm looking in the comments to see what you guys think. My thing is this. I don't like one part of the messaging. The messaging can go so far to look off as pandering, right? You got a message on your back of your jersey. Somehow, some way, that can give the effect that that's enough in terms of mission and execution. Oh, I got social justice back here. But that's not it. Now, that's a stepping stone to saying I'm talking about social justice, and then you may go into deeper parts. But I hate it when I did see these jerseys and the stuff on the sideline. I'm like, is that all they're doing, right? You don't want somebody just screaming and then they're not walking behind those yells. That's what I'm saying. So I know they're doing more work than just putting it and painting it, but it just came across like that. And maybe that's what Phil Jackson's talking about. All these messages, man, get to work. Get in the neighborhoods. Get to the places where there needs to be causes and calls for action. Not just tell me you're doing it, not just put it on the back of your jersey. I get some of that. But I also get the fact that, hey, these guys are using what they got to get what they want. And this is a different world. This is a different NBA. This is different sports. Looking forward to see where you guys come down. Hopefully nuanced in the middle. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But not in this world, it seems like today. You got to pick a side. Got to pick an extreme.